We're going to start by installing the bypass for the hydrostatic transmission. This rod with this little cam on the end of it goes through this bracket, and when you push down on the knob from above, it will push in on this plunger so you can freewheel the mower in case you break down or something, you need to push it by hand. So this rod gets threaded up through this bracket. Then it gets mounted on the side of the hydrostat. These two bolts. I take a 13mm socket. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but all that does is push in on that plunger. And this will stick up through the seat pan. There'll be a knob underneath the seat that you can push down on to bypass the hydro to push it. Next step in assembling the hydro is going to be to put this bracket, bolts to the rear frame of the tractor, hitches on it. Seat pan eventually sits up here in the seat brackets. The bracket sits on top with a transaxle and is held down by 4 bolts. Next piece to get assembled will be the shift linkage. This will bolt between the frame bracket and the hydro. We'll start by putting the spring in. Then the lever will go in. There's a small washer that goes on the inside of this bracket. And then there's a groove in the shift lever. I don't know if you can see it on the camera that this E-clip goes into. And there's a lock nut that goes on it. The shift linkage goes between this bracket and the bracket on the transaxle. It's held in place by this spring-loaded bolt. With a lock nut on it. Spring goes on the outside, and when you tighten the bolt down, that gives the lever tension to hold it where you want to go. And this linkage for the actual hydrostat hooks onto the bracket. There's the hydro subassembly ready to be mounted on the tractor. Left-hand frame rail can go on next. That will bolt on the inside of that rear bracket. Now the right frame rail goes on just same as the left. 4 bolts holding it in. Okay, there's both frame rails bolted up. Okay, now I'll mount the oil reservoir for the hydro. Hose goes down there. The bracket bolts to the right frame rail with 2 bolts. Okay, ready to move on to the front of the frame. There we have it, the completed chassis, ready for wheels and tires. That'll wrap up this episode of Sparks, Fire, and Baling Wire. Glad you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, share. We'll catch you next time.